And here we are. We've made it to the next stage. There's a really interesting video actually made by a Canadian prepper the other day. And a lot of people don't like him, but I actually think he's quite balanced and reasonable in his approach. He talked about this escalation ladder where something crazy would happen and then it would plateau again, followed by something that's even crazier than the thing that happened the time before that. And there's like this escalation and plateau kind of manifestation going on. And it's really interesting because, psychologically, it is probably designed to keep you on edge, keep the stress levels at an elevated level, so to speak. And with Israel and Iran, we had exactly that escalation and plateau, then the miraculous peace deal. Trump has miraculous peace deals, a lot of them, but he can't convince Russia for some reason. For some reason, he can't. That's the one bear that he just can't poke. But yeah, it's really fascinating. So it's reasonable to expect that the next cycle of insanity will be more intense than the one prior. I think that's reasonable to assume because there is a pattern here. There really is. If you think about it over the years, there really is some kind of pattern taking place here. And again, one thing that I am curious about, one thing I can't get out of my mind is the fact that Trump called this the 12-day war. Why give such a specific and interesting name to that? If you think about that conflict, this is the first terminology that comes to mind called a 12-day war. I know Israel had like a 7-day war before, like in the 70s, but still, it's strange to me. And I'm not gonna sit around and show you ipetgoat2 for the 50 billionth time. I do think, however, that there's something strange going on with that term. Actually, and if you look at the blue figures behind Lily, keep in mind that they're behind Lily. Okay, so that month is behind. And it's 12 figures. 12 figures in a state of distress and destruction. And then to the right, we have a very clear outline of Israel. Okay, but even more than that, the outline of the blue shapes themselves, if you were to draw a line around it, it actually really resembles the outline of Iran. And that's definitely pretty fascinating. So again, it's behind her, and then she has the apple to show what's ahead of that event, right? And it hits Obama's foot with a number 7, coincidentally. But again, it doesn't mean anything. We see whatever we want to see. It's nice to see you, Steve. We kind of just see whatever we want to see when watching that, right? And have it mold what we perceive, possibly. But I still have to put this out there as a possibility. And if it wasn't called a 12-day war, I would not have this opinion. I think that term itself is very important. You're at work? Yeah, I had a very strange day at work. Very unusual day. Some kind of mind screwing going on today, very much. And that's typical around holidays. Holidays create this massive pattern of chaos, right? Because you have a lot of people out and about, and a lot of people congregating together usually means more problems. But anyway, the dream. It was a rather short dream. Um, I was at a banquet hall, and it was very, very large. Exquisite chandeliers everywhere. There was massive tables with white cloth, and there was endless upon endless amounts of food, and there's so much of it. It just covered all of the tables. And I see a lot of people in this banquet hall, and I notice that they're from different nationalities and different ethnicities and different races, and they're all together eating, being jolly, having a good time, good old time. And in the middle of them, actually seated literally in this like throne like chair in the middle of all of it, was Trump. And Trump was talking to everybody. He was hugging people. He looked like he was distracted and full of joy. And he was also stuffing his face. And I noticed that everybody there was like really stuffing their face, like gluttonous gorging of food. And as he continued doing that, he was really distracted from the flood inside the banquet hall. And I look down and I see water coming up, and it's coming up slowly. But then it starts coming up faster and faster. And even at the last moments, none of these people seem to realize that they're drowning. They are so distracted that they could care less that they're about to be underwater. And that was essentially the whole dream. Very interesting symbology here, I believe. But yeah, that would be my third or fourth Trump dream in the last several weeks. I think the sigils of Solomon before was a little bit more important than this one, but who knows? I would say, be careful tomorrow. We've been watching this date for so many years now. So many years. Everyone's been speculating on the 4th of July. And I would say more likely than not, it means absolutely nothing, with the exception of that one thing I just mentioned earlier, being the 12 figures and the 12-day war, and then the ultimate boogeyman being unleashed and thrust upon the world, right? That psychological aspect of it is more important than just about anything else, to embed in the psyche of people, just like George Bush's boogeyman, right? During that time, this time frame has our new boogeyman, and we struck at the heart of the boogeyman, right? Pierced them right in the heart. So yeah, otherwise, enjoy yourself. I believe it's America's 249th birthday, I think. But yeah, I work early in the morning. My schedule was changed at the last minute from afternoon shift to morning.